Service, good evening.
These are the Hickory Hound's News and Views.
This is the Hickory Hound's News and Views report for June the 8th, 2025. In this intelligence report, we're not chasing headlines. We're tracking signals, the early indicators of real change in the Foothills Corridor. No hype, no noise, just the honest markers of movement, resilience, and reinvention. What we are talking about is separating signal from noise. In this fast-paced world we live in, there is a lot of static out there. It's like when they talk about separating the wheat from the chaff. We have to get through the garbage to get to the gold. Real regional change doesn't start with a press release. It starts with ideas, with efforts, with small wins. We classify these into three types of signals. Woo signals are raw ideas. Ideas we are pulling from the ether. They are thoughts we bring forward to analyze. When people talk about brainstorming or spitballing, this is what they're talking about. The what-if moments shared in meetings, classrooms, and coffee shops. A teacher imagining a tech lab in a vacant building. That's a woo signal. It's early, but it matters. The next level is faint signals, and they are those ideas with traction. A course is designed, a grant is submitted, an early blueprint is drawn, a committee forms. It's not a guarantee, but it's a test of seriousness. Weak signals are boots on the ground action, a broadband pilot, a food hub, a trail now open. It's the early stage of reality, deserving of attention, support, and scale. The next section will talk about how to read the ground. Spotting these signals means watching what others ignore. Look at the gaps. Uneven progress tells a story. Follow infrastructure, fiber lines, permits, trail extensions. These are breadcrumbs of what's coming. Watch the young and the old. If both are leaving, that's a red flag. Listen to how people talk. Optimism isn't fluff. It's fuel. Track the connectors, those who bridge circles and move forward ideas. And always measure impact, not just activity. Who benefits? Can it last? Does it grow? Section 3 of this intelligence report deals with what to do with what you see. You need to keep a list. You need to ask questions. You need to follow up. You need to connect the dots between the wins, because isolated success is fragile, but linked progress, that's momentum. The final word on the subject: the Foothills Corridor won't be rebuilt overnight. It's been a long struggle, but it is signaling. And if we listen closely, act strategically, and support what's real, we just might write the next chapter ourselves. Now on to Rachel with this week's news.
This is Rachel AI with your June 8th, 2025 Hickory Hound News and Views report for the Hickory-Lenoir-Morganton-Marion region. We're covering 3 layers of local change: what's already happening, what's starting to emerge, and what's being mostly overlooked. Let's begin on the ground. This is your ground-level report. These are emerging trends getting a foothold in the area first. A juice startup goes brick and mortar. The Juice Apothecary, a small wellness brand selling cold-pressed juices and herbal blends, has moved into a storefront in downtown Hickory's Harris Arcade. Until now, they operated through pre-orders and pop-ups. This shift to a permanent space signals real momentum for micro-retail and health-based local entrepreneurship. Second, apprenticeships are expanding quietly. Sunoco in Hickory is hiring maintenance apprentices. Catawba Valley Medical Center, in partnership with CVCC, has launched a pharmacy tech apprenticeship, and the City of Hickory is now recruiting police apprentices. These earn and learn programs aren't grabbing headlines, but they're strategic workforce investments happening in real time. Third, volunteer cleanups are growing. In Burke County, grassroots cleanups are ramping up. Volunteers have cleared riverbanks, roadsides, and greenways, sometimes solo, sometimes in small groups. One recent sweep collected 65 bags of trash. No grants, no fanfare, just residents taking initiative. Now to the early signal report. What's starting to stir first? E-bikes are gaining ground among older adults. Anecdotal chatter online shows that residents over 50 are buying electric bikes and forming informal riding groups. Local bike shops are adjusting their inventory. Greenways in Hickory and Lenoir are seeing more use. This could lead to increased demand for bike-friendly infrastructure and new recreational programs in the near future. Second, young professionals are building their own scene. A local meetup group called Hickory Hangout has grown past 180 members. It's focused on millennials and Gen Z, offering hikes, game nights, and brewery socials. These aren't just events, they're signals that more young people are choosing to stay or return because they believe this place has potential. These are underreported stories, what's being missed first, back-to-back shootings, light coverage. On May 31st, Morganton saw a fatal shooting on Cathy Road. 1 person died, 2 were injured. The next day, Hickory had a mass shooting, 1 dead, 11 wounded. Local voices have questioned whether the incidents are connected and why the Morganton event received almost no coverage. It's not just about the crime, it's about the silence. Second, Humane Society leadership ousted. On June 4th, the board of the Humane Society of Catawba County terminated its executive director following an outside investigation into alleged workplace misconduct and animal care concerns. This came after months of unrest, a 1,200 signature petition, and a public rally. The action is a big deal, but only local outlets covered it. Transparency matters, especially for organizations that handle public trust and vulnerable animals. Third, digital scam surge. Scammers are now targeting Hickory area residents with fake DMV texts, fraudulent calls using Sheriff Don Brown's name, and phishing messages aimed at Medicaid recipients. Local police are issuing warnings, but there's been little outside attention. This type of fraud erodes trust, especially in communities still recovering from crisis. Fourth, road projects that signal investment. NCDOT will launch a new US 321 project near Exit 37 this month. Catawba County is also resurfacing and widening subdivision roads. These updates won't make the evening news, but they're forward-looking infrastructure moves, potentially tied to future economic growth, mobility, and workforce development. In closing, together, these developments show a region that's navigating serious challenges while also trying to plant seeds for its future. From storefronts and apprenticeships to grassroots cleanups and underreported risks, this is the real story of June 8th, 2025 in the Foothills Corridor. Not hype, not headlines, just facts, patterns, and signals. This is Rachel AI. Stay observant, stay steady, and we'll keep reporting what matters before it becomes impossible to ignore.
That's it for this week's News and Views. At the heart of everything we covered, signals, underreported stories, ground-level action, is one central theme: discernment. Knowing what's real, knowing what matters, and refusing to be distracted by noise. This region isn't waiting for permission to change. It's already moving, one step at a time. But the future won't build itself. It needs people who notice, connect, and commit. So as we move forward, keep watching the quiet shifts, support what's working, and never underestimate the power of local action in shaping the next era of the Foothills Corridor.